So I finally got around to watching the Netflix Black Barbie documentary, and it was spectacular. While I did not grow up with Barbie because I grew up with pro black and indigenous revolutionary parents, I was not allowed to even have a Barbie growing up. Um, so I really was never into Barbie, like, ever at all. I obviously saw the Barbie commercials. I obviously, knew Barbie was around and existed, but I was never allowed to have a Barbie. The dolls I had growing up were black dolls, dark skinned dolls. I had one that was like an African doll or whatever. You know, the ones that are like black, like, like the color black. Anyways, I had one of those dolls. I had like dark skin um, dolls, but I never had a Barbie doll, not one time in my life. I think the closest I ever got to having a Barbie doll was this Mulan doll that I had one time that was in like the shape of a Barbie doll. And I think it came from the Dollar Tree, maybe. I don't really remember. But that was the closest I ever got to having one. But like for the most part, I never had a Barbie. I was not allowed to have one. I saw the commercials and that was that. You know what I mean? And then by the time they started making like the TV shows and the movies and stuff like that for Barbie, I was too old. So like, I never really got into Barbie like that. So like even when I watched the Barbie movie last year or earlier this year, I was like not that impressed because I was just like, okay. But like maybe because I don't have an attachment to Barbie like the rest of the world, I don't get it. Because I wasn't allowed to like have Barbie when I was growing up. And I actually don't think I missed out on much at all. You know what I mean? Like I really don't. And so I watched this, and I think this movie or this documentary is really special, not only if you were a person who had Barbies growing up, or you have your kids have Barbies now, or whatever, um, but even if you never had a Barbie in your life, you should watch this because it's a good history lesson at the same time. It's a good history lesson, and it's also a story about the elders and about how we need to give our flowers to those who made things happen. So, like, basically, this documentary is about these two black women who were working at Mattel, and they did not see, a black Barbie out there in the world. And they were the ones who helped to create this black Barbie and how black Barbie has basically evolved over the years. And so it's really important for us to be giving, our flowers to the elders while they're still here because a lot of that generation is starting to pass. And so it's important that we give the flowers to them while they're still here. So even if you didn't have Barbies growing up, or even if you don't really connect to the Barbie brand like that, it is a good watch because it is good to give flowers and know who created what. Also, it's just a story of, specifically, black women and black girls, but like all black people growing up and the hardships of not seeing yourself in the media, not seeing yourself represented in toys and dolls. Like they even went back to the old, tests they used to do back in the day where they would test little black kids and ask them, they'd have a white doll and a black doll in front of them, and they would ask them, well, which one is prettier, or which one is better, or which one is whatever, and they would always pick the white doll. It's even stuff like that, and how important, representation really is, and how it matters a lot for the self-esteem of kids, you know what I mean? And so it's really a good watch. I do recommend it. It's really, really good. If you're really into the Barbie brand, I definitely, definitely recommend checking it out. Even if you're not, even if you're just like kind of like a history buff or you're just really into black stuff, you'll like this documentary. I think it really, went well. Obviously, this is done by Shonda Rhimes. So she's in there. Maxine Waters is in there. Missy Copeland is in there. A bunch of people. And it's just a really, really well done documentary. They even talk about some of the celebrity dolls that were made over the years, like, Brandy's doll, and Missy Copeland had a doll. And so, yeah, for sure. Go watch this because I think it's really, really well done. And again, I don't have this big connection to Barbie like the rest of the world because I didn't grow up with Barbie. But I do think this is a really good like history lesson, as well as just, if you're into pop culture or anything like that, then this is really good. So check it out.